Hello and welcome to the stream. So normally, if you think about doing a stream of a pianist practicing, I think it would be like a waste of time to just watch someone practice if it's like a proper practice session. But what I'm going to do today is do more like a workshop. I'm going to do a practice session, but I'm going to talk through what I'm thinking. And we're going to play two pieces by Chopin, a waltz and a nocturne, that I have prepared specially for this. I mean, it's always good pieces to play regardless. So it's a good investment of time. But it's going to be a practice workshop. Let me just quickly see if it's working. Seems to be working. Although it doesn't say that there are any viewers. Let me just quickly check. Yeah, there is 3 or 4 viewers here. That's great to start. Okay, so I have taken these two pieces and I have divided them into 3 parts, and I have practiced a third of it for like a week. Last week I started on Wednesday and I practiced 4 days, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Then I had a day off on Sunday. And then this week on Monday I started practicing a second part of the piece. So I practiced the second part for 3 days, or like today I looked at it a bit, but since I was gonna do the practice now, it's like a half of a session. And I kept playing the first part, so the first part I practiced for like 8 days. And the third part I haven't looked at, so we're gonna do the very first practice session with the third part. And I think it will be a fun workshop to do. Let's just do one more disclaimer before I start. Normally on the channel we have this perspective of looking at the music and like figuring out what is the musical expression and what does it mean and what's all the great things that comes from the music and the piano music. And that's like the thing that comes in the latest phase of learning it and performing it. When you have everything coming together, then you can get this type of discussion of, okay, here the music converges and develops and unfolds into this beautiful expression and strong statements and everything. But this stream, when we're doing the practice side of it, it's a little bit like the opposite perspective. You can't really have reach that level before you have control over all the layers, and you need to go through the layers one at a time, basically, in the practice time in order to get there, to learn a piece, to really get it in your fingers. It's a lot of work playing the piano like that, as I'm sure you all know, since I think most of you are pianists watching this channel, but hopefully also some people who are not playing themselves but enjoy the music. Yeah, so maybe the parts I have practiced for like a week will get to that point of like looking at what does the music mean here. You can start to include the analytical tools of what's going on in the music and all these levels. But there are many levels before that, like layers, that I don't talk much about on the channel, that is about to do with learning it and playing it. So it's the notes and the fingerings, which finger should play which note, and then when they come in sequence, there's movement of the hands and arms, and all this needs to get like programmed as motor programs that are executed by the brain into the fingers, and it's work to do that, which we're gonna look at today, much more than my usual analysis videos, which takes this finished product and looks at it in that way. I think that's it as a preamble. Let's bring up the score here. And I've also prepared a text layover. Can you just write in chat if you're there? Just write a hi or something so I know someone is there. It says 7 people right now, but it's always good to see that there are some actual people. So I'm just going to show real quickly the first bars. This is the waltz that I have been learning now. just so you get a sense of it. There we go, a few highs. Hello, and thank you for being here, and looking forward to this. Okay, I'm now gonna jump straight into the third part, which is gonna be brand new. So I'm gonna do a little bit on each part of these two pieces. I'm starting with the waltz. So let's see, here is part 3. So basically there's some repetition of the material, which is the same, which I then have already practiced. So I'm just gonna jump in here and say what I'm thinking about, and like find the fingering and say, okay, what do we need to do here to learn this music? So okay, I know the part before because it's the same repetition. So if I'm starting from here. Okay, now it's different tone here. Okay, it's like a very weird transition compared to what you expect. Okay, but then jump straight into the next part, which I've also practiced. So yeah, just okay, those 3 bars are new, but that's nothing really to practice because it's just. And then you want to have, so you have the thumb here when you play this section. I've also practiced. We'll come back to this section again. Okay, but it takes a new turn here, so it's only those 4 bars that's the same actually. And now it's new. Okay, yeah. So I'm thinking directly, it's a sequence, it's the same time material but in a new position. Diminished chord over E flat. These 4 bars is a lot of things happening, and we need to go through this really slowly and sort out what fingering it is. And in order to do that, 1 hand at a time. Okay, so I know the contour of it since before, but it's new notes. Okay, so this edition is something I had in my library. I can show it. It looks like this. Edition Globus, and I've scanned it. So I have some markings in pencil, but they have a suggested fingering, and sometimes it's good and sometimes it's crap. Like you need to decide if you should keep it or not. So this looks good. So thumb over here, and then 2. And then 4, okay, here. Okay, here I'm thinking, let's show this. All these. So they actually have 2 suggestions of fingerings. The top fingering is 4 above, or there is also, you can take 3 above. I'm thinking now the 3 is better, because you get a better position here with these notes. So I'm going to do that for now and just, yeah, let's remove this. Write in the fingering I'm choosing here, 3, so I can see it also. So someone asked how long does it take me to learn a piece like this? So as I said in the intro, I'm not sight reading here. Some parts I've practiced for different amounts of time, and you can read in the description how it's a third each for different times. So you will see how far I've got in a week when we go back to that part. I practiced for a week, this is brand new. This is how I can read, but I would never play it before practicing. But okay, another answer to that question is like, if it's this level, not too virtuosic, I mean, this is still a little bit difficult and fast, I would want like 2 or 3 weeks before I would and I wouldn't be really comfortable playing it at a concert. But something like that, I think, too. But it really depends on the repertoire, actually. Yeah. Okay, this might take longer, but these bars are especially tough. So now left hand. Okay, I'm thinking chords, nothing strange. Now together slowly. Okay, so here I'm thinking this is a minor chord, D flat minor. Like on the section that comes before, you never have these are all new chords, so that's why it's new to me. Okay, so 3 here is what I need to tell my hand to play to get it right. That's the key fingering to know, because these 3 comes in one group, and then thumb 3, and then after the 3 it's just playing all these as one. They are very natural for the hand. So now I'm going from here, the 3rd bar. So now I've done it a couple of times. My right hand can kind of play it. Now I can think about the left hand making the jumps. So like after the 3 comes here, I know the right hand knows it can play the next note. I can think about this big jump for the left hand. Okay, so this is a quite slow pace to go through this, but now we can move on, I think, from those bars. So okay, this is like the first practice session, and then if I would continue to do this, I might do it with this piece, but the theory is that, okay, then you keep doing this the next day, and then we'll see a different type of section that I have done that for 3 days, and it will be better, and then you can start to think about different things, you know. Okay, moving on. Last bar on the first line. Okay, there's many extra lines. I think A flat. No, this is not wrong. This is not right. Yeah, it's B flat. You know, when it's like this, this is what you do. Okay, C, E, G, B. Okay, it's B. And then, okay, the last note here. This one, I know it's an F, because that's always an F. Like, it's just, I'm not used to reading these so many extra lines, but okay. Once you know it's B flat, sometimes I even write B flat here. No. Like, these are really good tricks. So now I know it's B flat. Before that's always an octave when it looks like that. And then it's a new line makes it hard to read. Okay, so long sequence, like this is the end of the piece. Chopin does a big flurry. Exactly, as someone says in the chat, they should use the octava stuff. It's like, yeah, sometimes they do, and sometimes it would be a good place to use it. I agree. Yeah, so what I'm saying about reading ledger lines, it's rough. Just write out the note. Like as here in the beginning, so you write out the first note, and then you can see, okay, the next notes are really easy because it's one below, like you can read them relative to this, and then the next one, it's just one relative to this. We're on G flat. Hang on, no, it's not even G flat. I'm playing G flat, but it shouldn't be. Like this is the type of stuff that happens when you play. Why am I playing G flat? I'm thinking, well, it was G flat before, that's why. Here's G flat. But then now it's G natural, I think. Yeah, so this is a little bit weird. Yeah, like it changes the tonality in a way. And I'm gonna write here another good trick when it's like that. If you notice this, natural sign, it's D flat. Okay, luckily the left hand here is not very difficult. It's you can kind of see, or pretty quickly I realize it's the same note as in the right hand, but just two of them. Yeah, here it gets a little bit double B flat, but it's chromatic. It's a D. This E double flat. It's a D. Like it's the same sequence. Okay, let's move on a bit. Yeah, need to remember the third time it's going more chromatically. Okay, and then in the end it's a little bit rhythmically offset. I think now I've read the notes. The fingering is very easy here, because if you just follow as they suggest, start on the 4, everything works out, so there's nothing I need to do. So I'm just going to play it again from the fortissimo, really slowly, and get through without stopping, hopefully. Okay, already here is a big jump to put it together. But it's the same diminished chord in the left hand here as I play in the right hand, so it's kind of easy to find. Now, okay, yeah, so now I've gone through it. There's not much music to be done here in this phase of practice, but that's the first step, to just figure out everything and take care to do it right from the first time. Yeah, even professional can struggle with ledger lines. Agreed. That's okay. Now we get some more waltzing. Okay, so this section here, it's actually pretty similar to before. So this is not brand new. It's a little bit new. So I'm gonna have a look here. Like this is. I think I can start with both hands at the same time because it's so familiar, but if it's slightly harder, like what comes, we're gonna separate again. Yeah, okay, 4 bars, I'm gonna do them again, so to make sure that I know what the notes are and get familiar with the positions. So now I notice there's one place where I need to move the hand and make a big adjustment jump-wise, and it's here. Because I'm gonna go down to this interval. Like when the material comes before, you have, this is a difference from before. It looks the same to start with, but here is where it deviates. In a new way, you need to move the hand down. So that's what I'm thinking, and when I'm practicing. Okay, so we isolate this part. It's a lot about doing this. Break it down to a small part and do that part really properly is how you build up a practice. Okay. So this is also a big jump. But it's not at all as difficult because you have much more time to think. Somehow. Yeah, it's like after this beat, it's one whole quarter note and then an 8th note until you need to play. Before it's only a 16th notes. So that's why that's more important. Let's, can I do like, no I can't. So, okay, move on here. Kind of cute. He takes the same thing, but raising it up an octave in the end. Okay, now I'm noticing something. Here it says the same what we just talked about, moving the hand down. But here it says another fingering, and it's very a bit annoying because I just practiced doing this fingering. So now I need to decide which fingering is the better one, because it's really stupid to have the different fingerings for the exact same thing. It's what I'm realizing. So do you know where I am? Maybe here. These have different fingerings, and there's no excuse for writing it that way. I think it's just sloppy writing. Exactly. Good comment in the chat. Just need to stay disciplined and make steady progress. It's slow, but that's what I find is what's working. Okay, so I'm thinking now that this second fingering is better one. So I'm going to take that and change this. 2, 4, 1, 3. Now I'm just second guessing myself. Is it really the same? It would be embarrassing if it wasn't, but I think it is. Yeah, no other flats or anything. Okay, so we're doing 4/2 both times. Okay, yeah. Okay, like this is generally fine. I'm gonna move on here. This looks harder. Okay, I played through this like a couple of days ago, so it's not brand new. So you remember these types of plays, but I haven't practiced it. So it's a new rhythm, but it's very straightforward. The same in both hands. You just find this chord. This is an E7, and like this is the chord. I'm in my mind, in my brain. This is how it works. Okay, this is the chord, and from seeing the notes, you program that this is the position of the hand to play that, and the same with all the others. But like this, I can play just reading, so it's not much to be done right now, other than go through it. So we're gonna move on. Now it's a big chromatic run. Let's see. So we're going down to the left hand, but we played with the right hand, I think. Okay, what's the rhythm? 1, 2, 3, 1. So A, yes, this is A. Okay, it's some kind of sequence. A little bit hard to know. I can't say directly exactly how what the sequence is, but it will come, I think. Yeah, so it's not a sequence of each bar repeating, because every bar starts on the new notes, but it's kind of the same scale, I think. Yeah, it's like an A major scale, but it doesn't start or stop on an A. So. And it's an extra chromatic D flat. Yeah, A major with an extra D sharp. So you get 8 notes in this scale. I think this is the scale. Yeah, so now when I have decoded that, that's the way I'm decoding this type of thing too. Okay, then if I say to myself A major, I know how that scale is. I know that's really sharp, and then it's an extra. Okay, we have A. Okay, so this is kind of funny. It just reverts back to the flat, A flat, from reaching the A. So this is a kind of jump. Immediately I'm thinking, what fingering should I have here? It suggests here to have 4/2, which is a little bit weird on a fifth like this, I think. I wouldn't naturally put 2/4. It's a little bit straining for the hand. So I'm thinking 1/4 instead. Or 1-3 maybe. Yeah, I'm gonna change it now to 1-3. Also, another rule is that I live after is that any fingering that you've decided you may have to change it later. When you learn the music better, sometimes when you get more flow, some fingerings make less sense and some make more sense. So you need to be open to change it also. But also you should follow it once you have decided. You shouldn't just keep it open and play anything. You will not learn nothing. So let's do it like this for now. So here's the same fingering again, 4-2. Like also, this is a very simple pattern of A flat and E flat 7, which is the dominant, which is the type of pattern you should get to recognize the more you play, basically. And also the way the chords are put here, very natural. Now something new here. Okay, again with the 2-4 on the 5th. I don't like that. Okay, this is a little bit annoying. Okay, so here the hands they get squeezed together. So let's start here in this the second last bar of the last line. So here you need to decide which hand goes above and which goes underneath. So either or, yeah. So this doesn't work. So it's this then. Okay, so then left hand is over. I write O for over and U for under. Right hand. This is something I started doing maybe 5 years ago or something, 5-10 years ago, and just do it immediately. You have a place you need to do. Yeah, it's really annoying, not a good example, because actually the right hand plays the first E flat above, but then the thumb is underneath or below. That's the main thing. Because it's always, if one hand has more black notes, that hand is always on top, like as a general starting point. So here we have black and we have one white in the right hand. So obviously the solution is right hand below and left hand on top. So it's the same chords. He throws in this D flat, which is a 7 in the bass. Okay, I'm gonna need to change this fingering now. The question is, should it be thumb 2, 5 and 2, or should it be 2, 2, 1 and 4? Both would work. Yeah, I'm gonna keep the thumb here as they say, but not do the 4-2. If you have maybe a bigger hand, that maybe that's something that works generally, but for me that's the ball. It's possible to play, but it feels too straining. Like it feels unnatural to play a open 5th with 2-4 like that. So we're gonna do 2-5. And then, yeah, another like professional trick, you chain. So here, the next note is a 5-3. I hope you can see my fingerings, by the way, but I think so. Like, it might be hard to see the thumb, but the top fingers is fine. Next note is 5 again. So then you change finger on the note. Like, it's like the better I get, the more I do it. It's felt like for the past couple of decades. So especially when it's a lyrical legato melody. So here it's, as I just said, 5 is better. But then you want to have legato, so we change. Like, this is a good exercise I've thought about doing. You can just have one note and practice changing the finger on that note. White. So it doesn't sound it, but like these motions come so fluid because I'm doing them so you can do them so much. Okay, let's go finally to the last bar, I think. This is again a sequence, but it moves on harmonically. Nothing too fancy, but new chords and bigger jumps for the left hand. So let's start here now with the left hand. These are big jumps. We need to get comfortable with the exact distance of jumping. Okay, big chord, but it's a big chord that's feasible somehow. Because it's yeah, good for the hand. I'm realizing I've been practicing for 30 minutes, and this is almost through 1/6 of what I had planned, so I'm gonna need to speed up. Okay, but in general, the practice here should be make sure you know the notes and then do it slowly. And I can read this slowly, so I don't need to separate the hand, but I should play it a little bit slower than I did now, and think the key is to think about what is it that I need to program to play this better the next so in just as part of the practice. So I've already mentioned it. It's a lot about here moving the left hand, jumping with the left hand. So now I'm going to do it slower and think about that, because the right hand I don't need to think so much about. Okay. Okay, here is a big leap for the right hand, but we have more time again. Okay, I see what he's doing here, Chopin. Really lovely music. He does the same thing but in a new key. So like surprising harmony, but it's the same type of chords. But that was a very good way of doing it, I think. But I'm not going to do it again. I'm going to keep on doing. But maybe now, after playing this material 2 times, it will be more familiar, even if it's new chords. I kind of know how the music will go, I think. So this is chromatic inner voicing going. This I need to read a little bit more carefully. Okay, it's only the first two chords that's the same, and then he takes a new turn. So, okay, this is a B flat in the right hand and an A flat. So a 7 in the bass, and this is also A flat 7 chord notes. And then look at the right hand now. We go F sharp to a G major, and then raise the G to an A flat, which is some kind of cadential chord to an E flat. And then now I recognize this. So this I have practiced before. I'm gonna go back to this section in a short while. Just gonna get this sorted before the bars preceding it. Is that right? Yeah, I forgot the B natural. But okay, now I'm noticing the pattern. So we have the B flat with A flat, the 7 in the bass, and then the next bar, I'm gonna show here. Also, this is the same. These are the same type of chord. It's a major with a 7 in the bass. The first one doesn't have the third, but it's A. Then the next one here is B flat with 7 in the bass, and here it's a different voicing. little bit different position, but it's still a G major chord with a 7 in the bass. So I'm noticing now, okay, these are connected, and that helps me to know where the hands are going, basically. It's also stuff that comes more the more you play, basically, over the years. I'm gonna go on. Ideally, I should do this a couple of more times because it's more notes to go. But I want to show the other parts that I have prepared. So actually, I think we're just gonna. Yeah, I'm gonna play from the second last line, and we get the ending to the first time to play the ending. Okay. This is like, here I'm now taking one hand at a time because it's very chromatic. Okay, it's the same every bar, so it wasn't that hard. Okay, and then it's a sequence. And then it's another sequence, A flat major. This is good fingering. Go over with a 2 here, and again. So okay, immediately I'm thinking about this going over with a 2 is the tricky part with this pattern, because it's very long jump. And then also getting 2 notes on the top third with a 4 and 5. They need to be together. That's what I'm thinking as I'm playing it. And then, since left hand doesn't need to do anything, it's pretty quickly until I can play this. Like that. And then final chords. And something. Okay, this is more tricky actually. Fingering. Right hand is good, I think. I'm actually not gonna do 4 here. Oops. I'm gonna do 3 here because it's and then 1. It will end on 1. Left hand, however, I think is not as obvious. You can try several things here. I'm not sure. Let's try what they have suggested. And I'm gonna do it here. Maybe you see better here if I do left hand up here. 5, 1, 2, 4. This feels really awkward. 5, 1 like that. Like you have 5 on B and then 1 on. It squirms in my hand when I try it. Maybe if you have a smaller hand, that's a good fingering. Yeah. So instead of that, now I'm playing in high register, but I'm reading F clef. That's confusing. I think in 4 you can do 4. This is not. I'm not sure actually. Okay, let's do it as like this for now, and then tomorrow I might change it. But let's do. What did I think? I want to end on 5 at least. Like I'm putting some of them in place. Everything is depending on how it feels, what feels good. And so 3, 1, 5. Yeah. 3 and 1. The question is should it be 4, 5 or 4 on this one? So I'm gonna keep 5 here. This is workable now, but it took a lot of time to do that properly. But I think you really save a lot of time if you do all these things properly when you first meet them, and don't, because it's so easy to just like play something and then move on. But then at some point you have to do it, and when you do it, that's where the clock starts. So every time you do it before you have done that, you're wasting the time. That's one way to think. Okay, now both hands together was much harder than I anticipated. But okay, so starting on 3 in right hand. Okay, we're gonna move on now from this place. This is the ending of this piece. So if there are any, for those of you who wasn't here at the start, I said that I have practiced and prepared this piece 3 parts that I have practiced for different amount of time, and this last part I had not practiced at all. So it was the first time I looked at it. So that's why we had to go through all the fingering, etc. And I tried to mention how I'm thinking about it. Now we're gonna move back to the middle third, called part 2 here, which I have practiced since Monday. So hopefully this will show I have done the same things, worked out the fingering, but I don't really know it in concert tempo yet. So I'm gonna start from part 2 here. This is like a middle section, and we'll see. I'm gonna play a bit and we'll see where we are basically. So this is like the same material that comes later, but now it's always going. Okay, I'm a little bit tired for having talked so much for some time, so usually I can play this a little bit better. But let's just do it a second time. I think you will be there. Shouldn't go that fast though, because I can't do it in that tempo. Yeah, this is... like you always get a bit hung up on this. The upbeat and everything. So okay, then just go zoom in, isolate, do only this little bit slower. Okay, another good question I think is to ask yourself which notes should be together in the hands if it's a place like this. There's some upbeat in between and okay, let's look at it. Okay, so these notes. No, yeah. And then, okay, then I need to practice so that these notes are together. So start with upbeat. And I noticed with the students that I'm having now, since autumn I'm having real piano students. I haven't had for a long time, but an upbeat is a really tricky thing to get right because it's very intricate movement you need to do, and so the solution is to sort it out really properly. Okay. And then these are together. Yeah, what makes it really difficult is that I'm using the fingering 4/4. Yeah, so it's a 4/4, that kind of gliding. But yeah. And then we get the same section as I have practiced for a week, so I'm gonna skip that and go to the più lento below in the lower line here. Okay, so this is hopefully it's clear now that I have looked at this before, and it's not new. So you can see some fingerings and some over under. There was one place I realized, what do I actually do with the over under? So this is okay. So going from here now. Here. Okay. Now I realized you stay this way. Right hand stays over. But I haven't written it, and now I wasn't sure, so I'm gonna write it here just to be certain. But basically, now I'm gonna do all this bit again and just keep thinking about. I still need to think about what notes am I playing before, and while as long as I need to do that, I can't really think about how to form and shape the music, and that's just the layer you need to move through. And when I play the first part, I'm starting to get the sense of that. So we're hopefully gonna get a little bit of that too. A very good question here about bringing out the top singing line in practice, and I was just talking about that not so much in the early stages, but like as soon as you feel ready, you should do it basically. But I'm not ready yet. Before I can do that, I need to know what notes I should play, and I'm kind of still in that stage, but I'm approaching there. So top of the page here. Also, another part of the answer to that question is that some of it comes more and more naturally also. Like here, I think my starting position is that right hand plays louder than the left hand. Like if they were, and you know, when I was a younger student, maybe I would play more like this. Yeah, so that's like more. That's less singing line, but now it comes very natural to play more like even in this stage. So maybe that's so that the answer is like both of them. Okay, let's practice now and think about the notes, and also like the musicality comes in a little bit once at the same time as well. Here I thought about it a lot because I cannot know the notes, and it's very important here where the line is in the score to play the top note, because it's so many notes in the low register, and so it's more important to play to hear the melody. Like before, this register is more already isolated, so maybe it's exaggerated now, but that's also might be a good way in this phase, in this stage. Here is a detail, something I've also started doing quite a bit later. Hang on here. This thing here, it's about what movements do I need in the hand, and here going from this chord with 2-3 to this chord with 5-3, which is a good fingering for the context, because you need to keep as much legato as you can with these double stops. But the key is that I need to lift up this the C here in the 3 I need to lift it up in order to catch the D flat with a 3. I can't, it needs to come up. So then I write a little sign for lifting the note up with this, like, this line of just, yeah, like I write, you can guess probably, but I write like this when I need to leave it, like leave up. So I think that's useful. So I have programmed it in my brain to lift that note, and it sounds good. Last line. Okay, now I need to scroll up. This gets chromatic, so need to do that one more time from here. Like, okay, so I'm thinking to myself, what's actually happening? Well, actually the right hand doesn't move. Right hand plays the same chord 2 times, but the left hand does move chromatically. Yeah, D flat. Because now when I played, I made a mistake of I didn't know what was going on really in this deep level. So now I can make sure I know the hands know that. Okay, so left hand moves chromatically, right hand does not. So now this feels like I have reached a lot of clarity in this bar, which I hadn't before, so that feels very good. Okay, I'm gonna leave it at that. Here comes the return of a section that is part of the first part. So, and it's a repetition. So I'm sorry it's a bit jumbled, the whole piece, because it's very many different parts that comes returns. But I'm now gonna go back to the very beginning, and this I have practiced for 8 days. So hopefully I can play this even better. Those 3 days, like, yeah, it takes time to get it in. But okay, so after 8 days of practice, little bit more than a week, this I can play it a little bit better, this whole section. Let's do the trill. Pretty okay. I get a little bit nervous now, like I have to show that I have actually learned it. Get nervous playing. Yeah, I'm sorry. I just started straight in the ending and middle sections, but this is the more famous first part. But I hope that this can be a demonstration of what I've done when I first read and met the score. Work out the fingerings, and then after playing a little bit, you keep doing that, and then that's what I have been doing with this place as well. It's just I've been doing it more days, and then every day you get it gets a little bit more automated which notes it is, because this is quite tricky. You have all these chromatic in the right hand. Which moves all the time, and you see some pencil markings where I have needed to write that in fingering, and also left hand. I've been practiced. In the beginning I did this 1 hand at a time, and then like noticing which are the notes and which are the jumps I need to be sure about, and then in the end you can it comes together, and now it's like I can start to feel the music, and it's very elegant and brilliant waltz, lovely to play once you get this far. But it takes time to do that types of practice. Maybe is there some, okay, if I'm keep practicing it, is there something what am I thinking when I'm practicing now, when I can kind of play the notes? So obviously it should be, I check the tempo, it's very fast. Like the concert tempo is something like, and I can't quite play that tempo yet. So I need to keep playing a tempo that I can do, and then it will get even more automated, so I can raise it up a little bit. But I'm not going to force it, is what I believe. So I'm going to keep doing that, kind of what I did. But also, I can start to really think about differentiating the melody here. Very obviously, top line. Let's play. Like you can start to shape that, but you really can't do that for many days of just figuring out what are the actual notes in between too. Maybe go forward to that, reaching up to the, like some kind of high point. Let's see. Here Chopin writes crescendo and diminuendo. Now I'm starting to notice these kind of things. What are the dynamic marking here? I don't pay much attention to it before because you're so occupied just reading the notes and fingerings. So what does he say with this these hairpins? Very quickly, like a small burst, like a sigh going. You could do it for another two bars maybe, but it doesn't say. It just only says here, a little bit weird. So one key was finding this D diminished. Like it registers in my mind that I need to play this very special chord compared to all the other chords. This one stands out of being like, it's a D natural, and then it's this. And also the right hand is doing something that's more stands out. Okay. And then when it comes, same thing basically, but an octave higher in the right hand. The left hand has different chords, so I needed to find out them as well. Here, pianissimo dolce, this kind of makes sense to do it less imposing and more brilliant. I can't play it, still can't play it this fast, unfortunately. Now it makes sense, this crescendo diminuendo, when I played it in concert, because, well, it's going to the minor, and then you can add a little bit of more weight to that. I think that's what happened now. It's major all before, and then minor, and yeah, it's not just any minor, it's the half diminished Chopin chord. Okay, so this is like the final section of this piece I'm going to do. It's taken a full hour to practice this, which is going to do the Nocturne also. But okay, this is another section that's goes something like this. So this is harder than the first part. I'm starting to have it, but I'm not really ready or comfortable playing it. Yeah, seems to be some great that you want to stay and watch this, even though it's a very serious and methodical practice. which is what my plan is for the stream. Great that you're still here, everyone. Just some words on this. So it's actually tricky. Like the harmony is like deceptively simple. Just the E flat, say I go to A flat, and then something else in the ending. But the right hand, so you need to it branches out in two different parts, and you need to use different fingerings. And this has been taking a lot of time to just sort out, to find this branching in the mind of like, where should the fingering go? Because the first time, okay, both times starts like this, and then it's 2, and you get just the hand in one place from the D with the 2, and then you have you have 4 on F, and then again 4 on F, and then this again. So that's the first time. But the second time, it's the same D, but now you need to use the thumb, the 1. So second line here, because you need to reach the C. And then it's like, and it so quickly, and you're after you've learned the first time, it's like you're so used to, the hand is used to doing that, and you need to go deeper to differentiate that it should do very similar but slightly different. And it's like the worst type of places where you have very similar but different. Like every time in a sonata you have a recapitulation, and it comes in the tonic, or like, so it's a different key. You have learned it one time, and then you need to learn it in a different key. It's very hard for the mind, because you're used to playing that music, but in another key. You need to relearn all the position, and it's harder to do it in 2 keys the second time than it just is to do it one time. And the absolute worst is Rachmaninoff Piano Trio number 1, the short piano trio, because there's some place with a lot of scales for the piano part, and it comes like, I think it comes 6 times in the exposition, and then 6 times in the recapitulation, and every time it's slightly different, and it's like really quick set. I recorded it with a double bass player actually a couple of years ago, and I needed to work so hard because there was so many small changes. So a little bit of that in here. So 2. Now second time 1. That's the key difference. If I do that right, what follows will fall naturally. But then it's also like different in the left hand that you need to. And then like the going down part is also something like that. The first time it's, and then the second time it's, yeah, the last time here, I'm sure. Yeah, like these and these are the same, and these, but then the last time it's not the same. The last time you need to go 5 because it's a different descent. So but that's the pattern. It's the same the 3 times. Well, the second time is a little bit different, but yeah. This I need to here eraser. Okay, let's play it one more time. I think then we are done with this. But like here, this wasn't very musical or musically interesting, but it's just I'm not there yet. I need to get the notes under my fingers. I was reading chat here. I didn't quite understand what you say here. Let's read it. Well, yeah, sure. I can see that. It's also easier because you know the music when it comes in a different key. So you, yeah, but you still need to find the different positions is a big part of the practice that you need to do again also. So like, yeah. There's actually a little bit more. I can play this. It's easier than the quick rounds. Yeah, not really much going on there, but I think it's a nice little section to have calmer musically after all the flurry of the 8 notes. And then it comes again. Let's try to play this now a little bit more musical, because I felt it was so mechanical when I did it just before. A little bit slower but more musical. 5 is there, I remember. And so this is it goes into this part where we looked at earlier. And I think with that, we're gonna leave this waltz. That I thought maybe half an hour on each piece, but this took 65 minutes. I'm just gonna stretch really quickly, but I'm gonna do the Nocturne. So basically I've done the same thing with the Nocturne. I'm not really taking a break, just need to stretch the legs. Okay, so if you don't know this piece, it's a lovely Nocturne in D flat major. So it's a lyrical piece, the waltz is very Okay, so this is actually the part that I have been practicing for a week, and also this Nocturne is not really brand new for me. I played it, but it was a long time ago, maybe when I was like 18 or 17 or something, and then again at like 20. So it's like 15 years ago. And so I had some fingerings from before. I didn't need to do all of that, but some fingerings I really needed to update since I feel more. I think some fingering felt like it was bad choices back when I was young. So I've done all of that, and but still I have divided it into 3 sections, and this first section I practiced for 8 days, and the second section I practiced for 4 days, and we're gonna jump into the ending and look at just a little bit of strategies of decoding from first seeing this. And like it's some of the hardest things, these runs. And we're gonna look at that. But I don't really know how today. So I only did it a long time ago. So it starts here, yeah. So the melody is the same. I talk more about this when I get back to that. This is a new note for the 3rd time. But basically the left hand is the same, so that's not new either. Okay, now here what do we have? Yeah, So I know, I mean, I know how this piece goes. I also listened to it, and also I know it. But we need to check the fingering. 3. Yeah. So here I would have 2 and then switch to 3, but that's such a minor thing. I won't write it now. But so like this first one, they didn't pose any trouble at me, so I'm gonna leave it for now. It's just 3 against 2. I do remember that I played this when I was like 16 years old. This was a really hard piece, and now it's like I played so many other really hard pieces like Scriabin and stuff. So this is pretty easy now. But I remember really struggling to read all these really big chords. I do recognize that there is a challenge if you at a different level, but it's all about getting it automated in the hand. And then 3 against 2, great place to practice it. I think if you're struggling with 3 against 2, this piece is might be too difficult to start with, because there are some other polyrhythms. But all at the same time, it's one of the nocturnes that are manageable. There are some nocturnes that are deceptively difficult, like they have really hard polyrhythms. This one you can do with some. I could do it at 16, for what that's worth. Anyway, 3 against 2. Now it gets more freer. Okay, so it's a scale up, and we're gonna end up on this. So let's first check out what are the notes. So it's C natural first, and then it's C flat, and we're in B flat minor, so we have a lot of flats in the scale. Okay, now it's a bit free. How should you line up is the question here. Now I'm kind of just trying something. Also, I remember this was very difficult when I was first learned this and didn't have the technical ability. But now I've done polyrhythms so many times, it comes very easy. But I know that it doesn't do that if you haven't already gone through like music college. So you can do something of deciding when they should be together. But I don't really know how to present that, since I don't need it for myself actually. So I'm gonna skip this part. Okay, where should you start with the scale? And then it's a bit, I know what to say now. It's a little bit weird how it's written, because these 2 notes are really part of the trill. The first going, and then like you wouldn't hear a difference of if you put them together, and then the scale starts on the C. So maybe here, let's try to start. What happens if I start somewhere here, like this? I think this is a good starting point, and then the better I get it. I will probably reach a state where it feels even more natural, but I'm not there now. Okay, this next one is actually easier, because it's a really many quick notes, but they go evenly. Which is very helpful. So 48, and you have, I've said 4 against 1 in Swedish. It's 4 notes on every 16 notes in the left hand. So every 1, what is this? Oh yeah, D flat. But yeah, these are actually lined up in the score, and still. It actually goes even out, which is very helpful. Oh, good cats. Great. I will update the text on the screen. I haven't. It says, yes, perfect. Thank you, chat. I'm gonna say Nocturne in D flat, G flat, Opus 27-2. There we go. Now it's better. There we go. So, I remember practicing a lot about this. Oh, sorry. Yeah, so okay, the top note is an F. It's just, yeah, it's not that hard to read because they have used the octava. We had that problem in the waltz. It was many ledger lines, but here it's not, it's more readable because it's 3 ledger lines with the octava. And then we have this arpeggio down. So these 4 notes comes 2 times, you can see. So it's the 4 over. I'm thinking now, what hand movements do I need to do? Those are the hand movements. Yeah, and then before, it's actually, I think this thing looks scarier than it is. Just, it's good fingerings in this edition, if you can see it. And this, yeah, they are small fingerings because it's small notes as Chopin's written it. But let's try slowly together. So just 4 on 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now we change the direction of the right hand. Yeah, so that's it's not that difficult. It's a little bit cheating. It's not that it was new music to me a week ago, because it's really deep within me because I played it when I was young, so I know how it goes then. But still, I haven't practiced this, so but it's coming back to me, like this type of figuration. But it's also very well written because it's very close in the hand, so you don't need to think much to play them if you are ready for them. Yeah, when it in the middle of the bar it changes direction, is somewhere you need to think about that. So I'm thinking, where is the changes in direction? And that's like the key points to make sure that I play. And now we get some material that we know. I'm sorry if, yeah, it wasn't that slow, maybe. So this is also part of the first or second section, so this is not really new. So I have played this. Maybe it's in a new key or new position, but it feels very familiar. Okay, this is always a place to check out. Quick ornament here. Which notes should be together in the hand? So you do a quick on the top. But they should be together, and then it's like, that's the purpose of practicing, to put these together. Because it's a very intricate type of movement that you need to find. Also musically, it's very like these thirds. It's a lot of things happening in a short time. Fail. The piano is sometimes doesn't want to work with me. It feels also. I blame the piano. That was good enough. Still doesn't do it. Okay, so this was familiar, now it's new again. What happens here? Was that right? Yeah, it sounds a bit weird, but I think it's right. Yeah, the C natural sounds a bit weird because you're used to C flat before. This is C flat the bar before. And now it turns with a C natural to another type of harmony. Yeah, fingering here I'm not certain. I will leave that for now because I'm gonna play all of this music and not just get bogged down in all the places. We get one more of these. So I remember this from I know how it goes, and I know it's also like triplets here. And also, if you're just reading this keys, it's a very clear pattern of a chord here. It's a flat sus4, very poppy for Chopin. And also only black keys, so pretty easy to hit. But also which notes are together. It's very easy because I know, okay, every time I move the thumb, it's together with the left. Just the way you move the hand in a sequence makes it not that, I think, easier than it sounds like. Also not as scary as it looks maybe. And then on the way down it's the opposite. No, it's actually not, it's the same. It's the thumb on the together again. I'm gonna write over under because that's the way, and then when I read this I will know quicker what I need to do. Now I could realize it quickly, but now even I know that I will practice in this position, like right hand gets a little bit higher and left hand comes out a bit to find this white key here. Okay, we're gonna move on. This is a sequence that starts here of diminished chords. If I remember. Yes. Like in the end, the last one is. The last one, you keep the D flat, is a little bit different. I'm going from the dolcissimo here. But basically, realizing what the pattern is like a good first step. And I like I kind of already done that because I played it before and I remember how the music goes. But here we have diminished. These notes are. This is one chord in this pattern. And then it continues like that, just one half step down. And then in the very final you keep the D flat. So that's the first thing to notice. The pattern is like that. And then since it's slow music, I have a lot of time to think. In contrast to the waltz, where we needed to slow down the tempo to really be sure to take all the notes. Here I have time to find the notes, so I can earlier start to think about the music and phrasing it, I think. Here's a question: should you repeat this A A flat? No, I think it's tied over, right? Okay, now we get a variation here, but it's part of the same chord. Yeah, so here I would just check right hand. So I read the notes and what is the motion or the movement of the hand that's connected with these notes. This I can't read really, it's slightly too big to read, so I need to do a little bit of motion jumping down. So I'm kind of thinking about programming that in my mind. That type of, okay, it's a motion from this to this, and that movement in the hand is what the purpose of practice is to get. And then together, which notes are together? Those are. Now it was very loud. Same here. Okay, now I'm noticing I keep my hand really stretched out and it's a little bit straining, so I shouldn't do that. Because I'm ready to take the note, but I need to relax a bit more. I remember also it was tough too because it's very wide written here. You can relax, stretch, relax, relax. Sometimes it's good to tell that to yourself when you can relax. Here, suddenly left hand needs to jump a lot more. These I can just read. I can read these because they're very much in the same place. Before as well, I don't need to move the hand much after I've decoded what pattern is. But here suddenly, I need to think more about hitting these notes. It's still only a D flat major chord, but suddenly it's more work to coordinate. Yeah, so here it's A flat 7, these notes, and then a D flat in the bass. It's like a bass is the pedal point with a D flat, and then you have other chords here. Typical mechanism. This I cannot play immediately. Well, I can, but not very musical. Like, and also because I'm a little bit unsure of the fingering. So here I need to check the right hand. Okay, should I go 4, 3? Or should I go 5, 4? There are basically, that's 2 options. Yeah, I think 4, 3 is good. And then I'm gonna write that so I'm sure. And then keep the 5, I think. There's also a case to be made for 4. Yeah, I'm actually not gonna investigate this fully now. I'm gonna move on, but this is the kind of work that I think you should be doing all the time. That the way I'm doing, except I'm not right now. But I would if I were to practice this properly. Yeah, this should be more sensitive also. Like you, the ideal concert version should be much more like super soft left hand and really good voice leading. But I can't really play this yet because I haven't practiced it. But hopefully I will show when we go back to what I have practiced. But this I need to think about the notes. Smorzando. I mean, it's okay, but it can be a lot better if I just do this bar a couple of times. So already I'm starting to feel a little bit more comfortable with where the notes are going, etc. There's a good comment here about learn hard to discover the patterns when there's many notes, and that's don't really know what to say there. Just like the type of familiarity with music theory in general, and the way it comes when you're playing the piano and chords. The more you get familiar with it by playing over the years, the better, the easier it will get, I think, to recognize patterns. I have an anecdote. When I was playing in first year of music academy, it's a very good story on this topic. So I was playing, we need to do a chamber music project every semester, and I played Brahms Piano Trio, #1 in B major, which was like way too hard at the time for a first year student. I kind of shouldn't, but like we were a trio, we loved the music so much, we had to do this. And as always with a trio, it's like, can we do all movements? The string players asked, can we do all movements? And the pianist said, no, I only have time to learn the first movement. So we only, or like first and second maybe. But like, yeah, I worked really hard at it. And it was really fun to experience Brahms in that way. But I remember we had a teacher who was a pianist at the Gothenburg Symphony Orchestra, actually. He teaches some chamber music. And there was one place in the first movement. Maybe can I even show the score? Let's try if I can do this. Because it's about pattern recognizing. And it's an example of a pattern that he was able to recognize that I wasn't at the time. And then later, I think I would be too. So I'm just going to quickly go to here and see if I can find some Brahms. Oh no. I think it's because I have the pedal, I can't type because the iPad thinks the pedal to turn the pages is like a keyboard. I think that's, yeah, now I can. Brahms Piano Trio. #1. And let's see if we can find a good, yeah, Breitkopf and Herzl should be good enough. And this was ages I played, but it's such a lovely, hang on, Why is it? Can't I have it on? Okay. This was a long time, but this is just gonna play the first. Really lovely work, but let's see if I can find the place where our teacher, he just took the score and sat down and played, and I couldn't understand how could he read this, because I had practiced hours and hours, and it was let's hope I can find it, because, well, the pattern was a diminished chord is what I'm gonna come to, and let's see if it's hang on, I don't recognize this at all. Is this this might be the wrong version, actually. Yeah, it's the first version. There's two versions of it. The first version is not the right version. We should have the second version, Peter's edition. Because I didn't recognize it. It was the wrong version. Here we go. It's the same in the beginning, but yeah, I recognize this much more. So, yeah, I think this is it. This is it. He just sat down at the piano and played from here. No. Here. Okay, so I couldn't really do it as well as he did back then, but it's still, when I was a first year student, I couldn't play this the way I did now, but now I know it's a pattern that kind of clicks in my mind of this is a diminished chord, so all of these chords are the same diminished chord, and it's hard to put the finger on exactly how, but somehow you just understand that these notes, when they come together, this E sharp and the D natural and the G flat, it's just the same diminished chord, but Brahms has written it out a little bit awkwardly, but it's still very much in the hand, so that's why you can play it if you know it's a diminished chord, and you know where you can see the starting point, and then you kind of see the pattern. It goes on to something else. So that's a really long answer to that questions about patterns. Okay, we're gonna go back to the Chopin Nocturne now and play. Yeah, we just have one line left, and then I'm gonna go back to the beginning here. So okay, there's another awkward polyrhythm of 7 against 6. Okay, I'm gonna start with the right hand. No, it starts here. So what's the fingering? I'm gonna follow the one that says it seems to be all right. So let's just do the first septuplet. So if you're learning this and these kind of things, really make sure that you know as well as possible one hand at a time. So like, where does the finger change? Here. Okay, so the thumb changes every note, but here, or you go over with a 4. When it's written out here, it's where you go over. And then I remember struggling with this actually, to put it together. But in theory, 6 against 7, the 7 group should go a little bit faster than the 6 group. So before the left hand takes the second note, the right hand should have had the second note before. Like that's what I'm thinking to start with. Little bit before. And then you kind of try to keep one tempo and see where you end up. That was pretty good. And then, like, I think it's just brute force of trying this and getting more and more comfortable with where the movements are synchronized and not. Got a fingering suggestion here. Let's try it. 5, 2, 3, like that. 5, 3. Yeah, it's pretty good. Good advice actually. Fingering suggestion. It's using the 2, which is might be. I might do it. 3, 2. It makes it easier with the polyrhythm actually, because you need to change less, and if you go 2 here, and then you have or 4 in 4 fingers at a time, and then 3. But I'm not sure if it feels a little bit wide to do 1, 2 when it's 6. But actually it's like a small 6, so maybe it's good. I might start on 4 maybe. No, 5. And that's the end of the Nocturne. So this is, wow, I've been doing this for 1 hour and 40 minutes. I've now done the last part of the Nocturne. Gonna go back to, actually, let's just go back to the beginning now. And I'm, like, the first 2 pages I practiced for 8 days, and then the second 2 pages I practiced for 3 days. Maybe I'll just play that and we'll see where we are. So now I know the notes, and you can start to think about making music. And yeah. Okay, this first pattern is a little bit tricky because the movements of the left hand here. So you need to jump. You start with the bass note with a 5, but the end of each group also ends with a 5 on the F, and then you have to hop down, and like you can't really do one. Everything else is much more awkward, so the hop is the best. But still, that hop is really sensitive to get it beautiful. Like you don't, unfortunately you don't see when I play the 5 here, but 5 and then jump to, like, really tender, and it's a fine level of muscle control, of movement control, of playing this softly, play and jump and play, everything very super softly. Okay. So that's what I'm thinking now about when I'm practicing. Get this jump in very nice pianissimo. But then in general it's right hand melody, much more singing than, and pianissimo in the accompaniment. But that's pretty self-evident in a way in this type of texture. And basically my whole point that I'm trying to do, that I'm making in this stream, is that the more you get used to playing the right notes and doing the right movements, it will get more automated. If you make sure to do it right from the beginning and do it properly, it will get more automated, and then you can move up and get to a more advanced stage in the playing and interpretation and practice. Like the final stage of practice is like the memorization. When you feel you have everything, you can start to think about, okay, how can I be sure that I know how it goes without looking at the score? That's another stage I'm not really touching today, but I disconnected the pedal because I needed to type. So reach this repeat part of the main melody. So I'm feeling I'm getting a bit tired after doing this 1 hour 40 minutes. I think like normally I take a break after like 1 hour, or sometimes a bit less, or sometimes a bit more than 1 hour, but like a 15-minute break to clear the mind, I really would need it. I can't really do my best practice now because been going for so long. But I feel it's nice to make a coherent stream of it. But yeah, basically, since the hands know much more which notes are coming, I can start to think more about forming and phrasing. And it's a lot of work still that needs to be done with like having the top voice on all these thirds. Or like there are many small outbursts within one bar of movement, but what does it mean when you put them together? Like so here growing. Like this bar, so many small, like very stressed almost. Yeah, can't find the word, but unsettled type of Chopin. Like where should we land? Not on any one of these, that's for sure. And here it lands. Okay, and now suddenly a big crescendo. So how should we do this type of dynamic? When that's the kind of things that I can think about now, then I know when I know what notes I'm playing. And now piano answer, which is a really surprising harmony. to the forte, and this is a little bit like a dialogue. It's one thing in the forte, so you can start to think about those things of making it. So, but now we're kind of approaching the type of thing that I would say in an analysis video when I have everything together and what does this music want to say and why is it so good and beautiful. But still, I have gone through this for this past week of really, okay, what fingering? Okay, octaves, isolated. What are these mini movements between the notes? Down to E and together. And get this many times. And then in the end it will just feel very easy and breezy. And these bars that are so weird with the chromatic walking in the left hand. So I'm gonna play on now this part 2, which is like somewhere between the last part and the first part. So I practiced this since Monday, so I shouldn't know it as well as the first part, but still a little bit. So we'll see how that goes. It's the same here. Lovely inner voice. Let's practice this now quickly to update what these are very many hard positions in a short time. And they should end up with a double, 2 notes at the same time, which breaks the pattern, so you need to be ready for that. Okay. Actually doesn't need to be much faster here, because you can have some expressive time. Yeah, this is one of the hardest things in the piece. I've struggled so much with this. When it like this, like a white key and you need to stress the hand. So every day I do a couple of times just like that. Where are we? Worked up here. So I could play this. It's not brand new music. I played it when I was younger, so it comes back quite quickly. Which it always does with old pieces. So you can play old pieces, so you will learn them faster. But still, I need to think about the notes here when I play it. So there are some distance I still need to go, I feel. So I'm going to do this a little bit slower and really solidify which notes are the right ones. So here, it's different in the right hand. First time it's, the second time it's A flat, the first time it's A natural. So this felt really good to make sure that I played the right notes together. Yeah. And then we reach part 3. Let's try to see how much I remember from that first practice session. It will not be much. It's a very surprising note. Let's turn it into a 7, D flat 7. For example, this trill, now it was alright because I had practiced it much. Yeah, now I'm realizing it says appassionato here. I didn't kind of register it before because I read the notes, and it's you need to keep the musical tension a little bit more longer here after the high point. Keep it. And here it gets a little bit more relaxed, but these 8th notes, they are like very important. Such a pianistic place, this bar. I remember I really loved it. That feeling when Chopin writes a sus chord. Over. Really helped me that I wrote that, because now otherwise I would be unsure. Diminished sequence. Like once you get the hang of this, when you see that okay, it's a sequence of diminished chord, 1 half step lower each time, it really feels so much easier than I understand that it feels like when you're reading so many accidentals, but patterns. Here, keep the D flat in the left hand though, so it turns it into a half diminished actually. Really magical place. And all this tension that's been in the piece of all this chromatic searching, it's now kind of consolidated in the calm major chords. One more round of this. I think that's a good way to end the stream. The Chopin Nocturne. Which bar should I not play like a metronome? Are you referring to the septuplets in the end, or some other bar? You can clarify that. But I was thinking that it feels a little bit like cheating, because I'm saying that it's new music to me, but it doesn't feel like it, because I played it when I was like 16 years old, and then there was some other time also I took it up, but I don't remember exactly when. So it doesn't feel like new music. The waltz was much more new music and harder in a different way. 58. Okay. So going back a bit, I'm curious what you the bar 58 with or maybe you need to see which bar you meant here. So like here's 57. 60, yeah. The sus bar, okay. Yeah, we'll see how that develops for me when I keep practicing it, because this was the first time I really played it. So I think, no, 61. 61. No, I think you mean this bar, right? Like you couldn't do it more freely. Yes, we're on the same page. I think it's a good place to start to make it to start at a place where it's very clear what you're doing, and then you can free it up a bit. So I suspect that I will do that when I get to practice it more. Yeah. But with that, I'm gonna. What piece is about night? It's a question. It's a nocturne that is this piece. It's a nocturne. It's alluding to the nighttime in some way. A piece that's reminiscent of night, or fits really well to play at night. Maybe is another. It's not really a clear definition of what a nocturne is exactly, but Chopin wrote 21 of them. And yeah, I think this is a good place to end the stream. Thanks a lot, everyone, for being here. I've had fun doing a kind of public practice and talking a lot about what I'm thinking. And hopefully it's a little bit useful. In general, I'm kind of thinking a lot about these things, and I think I might produce something more thought through in the future. Maybe videos, maybe writing something, reading some interesting things about neuroscience I want to implement. How does a brain work? So that's what I'm thinking. Programming motor programs in the hand is what it. And then there's many other different layers you need to add on in order to play well to so many things. So, but yeah. Okay. Have a good one, everyone, and I see you in another stream or video, maybe.